She cheated. She lied. And I exposed her in a corporate boardroom at 9 a.m.
After 10 years of marriage, I thought nothing could shock me anymore. I was wrong. Life has this funny way of hitting you hardest when you least expect it. I was on a work trip, stuck in a sterile hotel room, sipping burnt coffee and trying to focus on my presentation slides. That's when the phone rang. It was the front desk. What they said next didn't even sound real. "Sir, your wife checked into this hotel yesterday with another guest. We think there might be a reservation issue. Could you come down?" I actually laughed. My wife, Jennifer, was supposed to be at home with our kids. But the long, uncomfortable silence on the other end of the line told me this was no joke. My heart started pounding. I went downstairs, and the manager led me into a small, quiet office. He didn't say much. He just turned the monitor around to face me, and there she was, my wife. She was wearing her favorite gray work coat, walking through the hotel lobby, smiling like she didn't have a single care in the world. Beside her was a man I'd never seen before. Tall, slick suit, exuding a kind of confidence that a married man shouldn't have when he is checking into a hotel with someone else's wife. Then I saw it. She touched his arm. It wasn't an accident. It was deliberate familiar. She leaned in and kissed him. It wasn't a shy peck on the cheek. It was a practiced, passionate kiss. I just stared at the screen, completely silent. The manager whispered, "I'm so sorry. I thought you knew." I didn't say a word. I just asked him to send me every file, every angle of the footage. I walked back outside into the cold morning air, and my entire world just tilted on its axis. But what I did unrealize then was that the cheating was the least dangerous part of this story. I went back to my room, trying to breathe, trying to make sense of it all. That's when a much darker question hit me like a ton of bricks. If Jennifer was here with him, who was watching our kids? I immediately texted my mother-in-law. She replied almost instantly. "I thought the kids were with you too on that company retreat." Retreat? My wife had lied to her own mother. A cold chill spread through my body. I called the school next. The secretary confirmed it. Neither of our children had been to school for 2 days. That's when the anger started to fade, replaced by pure, cold fear. I called our babysitter. Her voice was shaking as she explained what happened. She said she'd dropped the kids off with a company driver at a gas station, someone Jennifer had told her was safe. A complete stranger, at night, with my children. I hung up the phone and the world went silent around me. This wasn't just about infidelity anymore. This was a deliberate removal. This was a setup. My hands trembled as I opened our old GPS tracking app, desperately trying to ping the kids' devices. Nothing. Both were offline. They'd been forced off. I started documenting everything, call times, statements, the exact words everyone used. Then I contacted the one person I knew could help, Brian, an old friend from college who was now a high-level corporate attorney. He didn't waste time asking questions, he just got to work. A little over an hour later, Brian called back. "His name is Derek Palmer," he said, his voice grim. "He's your wife's regional director. He's married, has 2 kids of his own. And get this, he's currently under an internal HR investigation for inappropriate conduct." Suddenly, it all made a horrifying kind of sense. Jennifer didn't just cheat. She had aligned herself with a man who was running from his own scandals, and she had used our children as leverage, as pawns in her game. Then I remembered something, the cloud backup. Our shared family devices still synced photos automatically. Jennifer must have forgotten. I pulled it up, and there they were. 6 new photos uploaded from the hotel's Wi-Fi. Her holding a glass of champagne in bed. Her wearing the silk robe I bought her on our anniversary trip to Milan. Her laughing with her head thrown back, my sapphire necklace, the one from my grandmother, around her throat. But her wedding ring was gone. And in one photo, Derek's hand was resting on her thigh. She looked happy, comfortable, completely committed to her betrayal. I gathered everything. The hotel footage, the photos, the credit card records, the school absence logs, the babysitter's terrified statement. I compiled it all into a professional, cold, and utterly devastating evidence packet. Then I drafted an email to Derek's senior corporate vice president. The subject line was simple: Urgent matter regarding director Derek Palmer. The body of the email had only one sentence. I thought you would want to be aware of your director's conduct during his business trip. Then I attached everything and hit send. A nuclear corporate chain reaction began instantly. 10 minutes later, I got the notification. The VP had opened my file. Because corporations, I've learned, protect themselves above all else, not their employees' affairs. That night, the hotel front desk called my room again. Sir, your wife is downstairs in the lobby. She's asking for you. Shall I send her away? I took a deep breath. Tell her I'll meet her tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. In conference room C, no emotion, no yelling. Just cold, hard precision. I barely slept that night, not from pain, but from a strange, newfound clarity. The next morning I walked into the conference room. The company VP was already there. An HR representative sat beside him. My lawyer Brian sat on my other side. The entire setup looked like a formal corporate disciplinary hearing. Jennifer walked in last. She looked completely destroyed, dark circles under her eyes, her hair a mess, her eyes frantic. She started to speak. Please, just let me explain. I didn't let her finish. I just pointed at the large screen on the wall. The footage began to play. Her kiss. Her check-in signature, her champagne toast in the hotel room, her missing ring, her lover's hand on her leg. She broke. She just completely broke down. The VP spoke calmly, his voice devoid of any sympathy. You and Mr. Palmer are suspended, effective immediately, pending a full investigation. Jennifer turned to me, tears streaming down her face. Please, she begged, don't do this to me. I stood up, my own expression completely blank. I'm not doing anything, I said. You already did. I slid a folder across the table toward her. It contained divorce terms, a full custody plan, and non-disclosure agreements. You'll sign everything, I told her. And you'll do it quietly, she whispered, her voice cracking. How could you plan all this? I looked her straight in the eye and answered without a shred of hesitation. I didn't plan it. I documented it. 2 days later, I checked out of the hotel. As I was leaving, the manager handed me an envelope. It was from Jennifer. Inside was a short note. I'm sorry. Please call me. Tucked inside was a crayon drawing from my daughter. It showed 2 little stick figures holding balloons with the words, me and Daddy at the zoo. For the first time in days, my chest ached with a pain so deep it took my breath away. But in that moment I knew what mattered, not Jennifer. Not revenge, not the evidence, my kids, that's all that mattered. I handed the envelope back to the manager. If she comes looking for me, I told him, tell her she should have checked the cameras before lying. Then I walked out into the bright morning sun, leaving behind the ruins of a marriage she had already destroyed, and stepped into a future she would never, ever be a part of again. Don't forget to follow for more stories like this.